Hey, what's going on? This is Sue Peters, and you are listening to the Mompreneur Lifestyle Secrets Podcast. Here's the big question. As women, how can we have it all? Stay at home with our babies, bring in an income that lets us live a life full of passion and purpose, and maintain our health and self-identity along the way? This podcast is going to help give you that answer. Happy 2022, you guys. I hope you had a safe and wonderful new year, ringing things in and bringing yourself into 2022. This is it's absolutely mind-blowing that we are here. I want to talk to you today about a big issue that I have. And I know a ton of you guys can relate to this. And as we dream big and as we work towards tackling our goals, whether that's, business or your health or your marriage or parenting, this is a big piece of the puzzle. And I know a lot of people can relate to this, and it's a huge problem that I have. But it's perfectionism. It's not putting yourself out there until things feel perfect. It's not having the conversation until you have it mapped out in your head and you can, know perfectly what you want to say. It's not working towards a health goal because if you feel like if you can't be perfect, it's not worth it. This was a big issue that I had, when I go back, I've talked to you guys a little bit about my health journey and the things that I've done over the years to really try to get my health on track and kind of where everything started for me years and years ago with hypothyroidism. And when I started this journey, obviously I wanted to try to implement fitness. I tried going to the gym. Like I can't even tell you how many times, and you guys, it's just not for me. So I tried working out at home. We have an elliptical, we have a treadmill, we have all of the goodies. And, I tried working out at home, and you guys, I would fall off the rails. Like I can't even tell you how many times. I had this issue in my head that if I'm going to follow some sort of protocol, or if I'm going to follow a 30-day routine or something like that if I couldn't do it perfectly, it wasn't even worth trying. That's a major issue, you guys, because it's those failures along the way that actually help us succeed. It helps us learn. It helps us get stronger. It's all of those little baby steps. So this was a big, big issue for me for many, many years. And, one of the first things that I did when I started taking my health back is I went gluten-free. It's a big piece of the puzzle for those who are hypothyroid. And you guys, it seriously took me about a year to take it serious and get on track with it the right way. And I can't even tell you how often it happened where I was accidentally glutened, meaning that I ingested gluten by mistake. Like I found it in my vitamins. I was taking vitamins every single day and it was in my vitamins. I had no idea. And when I found this out, months and months later, I feel like I'm doing such a good job. I'm so proud of myself. I'm perfect, quote unquote, I'm doing everything right. And I'm just kind of in my groove and this is fantastic. Suddenly I find it in my vitamins and I'm like, are you kidding me? I felt like the biggest failure because I found it in my vitamins and I was taking in gluten every single day. And here I thought I was doing fantastic. But it was the idea of the fact that I wasn't perfect that really felt like I was this massive failure in the process. And you guys, I was doing so well in so many other areas, but I had a hard time wrapping my head around the fact that I was taking in gluten this whole time and I just had no idea. That's the wrong approach, right? Think of all of the amazing choices that I made along the way. Think of all of the huge steps that I took and all of the moments of success that I had just because this one little thing where I was taking my vitamins every day and I didn't realize that it was even in there. We don't know what we don't know, right? So, I felt like this big failure and it took a lot for me to get past that. It really did because, I fell off the rails there for a while and I'm like, you know what? It's just not even worth it. I just completely fell off track and I had to really fight with myself to get back on the right path. And that happened multiple times. That's not the only time that happened because gluten is in everything. If you're new to being gluten-free, it's hard because you'll find it hiding everywhere. You guys, when you go to, there's a lot of restaurants that actually put it in their eggs. Like, who would have thought you couldn't order eggs at a restaurant and not feel safe to not have gluten in there, right? But there's a lot of restaurants that add it to their egg whites or their regular eggs because they think it makes the eggs fluffier when they scramble them. So I can't even tell you like how many times like I had those moments of failure and I had to fight myself to get back on track. It was the exact same thing with trying to get fitness going in my life. Like I fell off the rails so many times because I would start doing a workout or some sort of regimen that I found in a magazine or on a DVD or whatever I was following at the time. And if I couldn't do the move right, like that would make me fail. If I couldn't follow the program from start to finish, like that would make me fail. Like if I missed a day or if I just didn't get it in, or if I just, I didn't feel very strong that day, or I didn't feel very good that day and I didn't feel like I did a good job, like that would make me completely fall off the rails. So getting past the problem of perfectionism is a mindset thing. We have to start shifting our mind to start realizing that every single day when we take action, when we have moments of success, no matter how small and insignificant they may feel, we have to celebrate those. And we have to realize that life is a journey, right? Let's just celebrate and like just do our best every single day and everything that we do. And I find myself going back to this, like this is an ongoing issue for me. Like this has been something I've dealt with for as long as I can remember. So even in my business, as I'm, creating things and putting together, and I can use the group as an example, because one of the big things that I really want to do for 2022 is I want to create a free group where I can help people build their business. I can share my resources in there. I can be just a source of information to help people build their business more authentically, similar to basically how I built my business with my personal brand with hypothyroidism. I really, really want to provide that value and have that free group and have those resources available. But I keep stopping myself. Like I keep finding myself slowing down, and it's an ongoing battle every day where I have to fight past the fact that this group has to be perfect. Like if I can't outline, a process that's going to be successful for people, if I can't, create this, a challenge or a group or a way for people to come in and have success, a way for people to come in and really enjoy the group and have a good time and find value from it. If I can't create that for people, then it's not actually worth me doing. And that is the wrong mindset. That is the wrong approach. So it's an ongoing battle that I have with myself constantly. And we have to just put ourselves out there. If we want success, and it doesn't matter if it's in parenting or our marriage or fitness or just overall health, or if it's our business, it does not matter. If we want to find success, we have to take those steps forward, and we have to just put it out there, even when it's not done, even when it's not perfect. We're going to fall off the rails. We're going to have moments of failure. And we have to just learn from those moments. We have to realize that failure does not mean it's the end of the game. It does not mean that you are done. It does not mean that you stop. It means that you learn from the process. So we either quit or we learn from the process, right? And I'm not a quitter. That's the one thing I'm not. I will fall off the rails. I will have my moments of derailment, but I will course correct. I will eventually course correct, and I will eventually get out of my head, and I'll shake things off, and I will move on, and I will find that path. So when it comes to creating this group, I will have a group out there soon. And I'm so excited to put it out there. I really, really am. Like I have the vision behind it, and I know what I want it to be. And I really, truly want to help people in this way with this method. But at the same, and I've done it before. Like you guys, I've done it before. Before my accounts got shut down, I had a group that had about 5,000 people in it. And it was a free group, and it just, we did little mini challenges in there, and it was health related. Cause again, it was on the hypo side. But it was, we did free challenges in there. It just tons of value. We had conversations with people. It was fantastic. So you guys have done it before. Like, it's not even something where it's like, oh gosh, I've never done this before. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing. When it comes to building our business, there's going to be so many areas where we have no idea what we're doing. When it comes to, even going back to the thyroid health example, when it comes to creating that healthier lifestyle and healing and getting better, like it's so overwhelming, you guys, like so overwhelming to get on track and better your health on the hypothyroid side. But it just takes baby steps. And you can't look at the big, huge picture at the end and say, oh my gosh, it's just miles and miles and miles to get there. You have to just take those small little steps, and you have to accept failure as part of the process. You have to put it out there before it's ready and set aside the idea of perfectionism. There's a quote by Tony Robbins that I absolutely love. And it's, every problem is a gift, because without problems, we would not grow. I love that. And it's things like that. It's quotes like that. It's ways of thinking like that help me get past that idea of having to be perfect. The fact that everything has to be perfect before I release it. It has to be perfect before I let, someone, download it and, accept that free offer. It has to be perfect before I start that group. It has to be perfect before I send that email. It has to be perfect before I post that reel. These are things that I am working hard to get past. And I want to help you guys get past that too, because I know this is a very, very common problem with a lot of people, and perfectionism can stop us. It can stop us dead in our tracks. It can prevent us from taking action. It can prevent us from having that conversation, from putting ourselves out there, from saying yes to an incredible opportunity that could change our freaking lives, you guys. Perfectionism is something that could just stop us from taking that leap and being the best version of ourselves. So as I have this conversation with you and with myself, I hope it helps you get past any type of stumble that you might be having in your life, because I know how hard it can be. It's a big issue that I have dealt with for a long time. And there's nothing wrong with wanting something to be great. Okay? There's a difference between creating something that in time can be great versus something that stops you dead in your tracks because it's not perfect. Do you understand that difference? Perfectionism, when you work towards trying to be perfect, which, let's just be honest, perfectionism does not exist. Perfect is boring. And at the end of the day, it doesn't actually exist, because being perfect is subjective. It's all in your mind. It's all in what I perceive as something to be perfect. You might perceive as being awful, as being not valuable, as, you know what I mean? So it's subjective. It's all what we think perfect should look like. It's all what we think perfect should be. So it lives in our mind. It's not actually even real. And being perfect, trying to be perfect, creating something that's perfect, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be great. There's nothing wrong with wanting to create something that's amazing and brings you joy and gets you excited when you look at it and makes you feel proud. Okay? But remember that being perfect is not the end goal. Being perfect is non-existent. And if it is existent, it's rather boring, because we learn through the process. Those failures are what build us up, or those failures are what make us grow. It's what makes us stronger. It's what makes us better. So it's those failures that actually get us there. And I'm working hard to get past all of the perfect issues. So every little moment that I have that I'm like, okay, this isn't perfect, and I find myself spinning my wheels and doing things over and over and over again because I just want it to be perfect, I'm working hard at stopping myself from doing that and just putting it out there and just moving forward. So I hope you found this topic helpful. It's something that I live with constantly, and I will continue to work on and continue to improve, because I realize what perfectionism is and what it is not. And it's all in our mindset. So work hard on your mindset to get past that and just take the leap of faith. Regardless of what area you find yourself holding back, just take the leap of faith, trust yourself, and get excited about what's ahead of you, because all of those moments of failure, all of those moments of trial and error are what's going to help you actually succeed. So have an amazing day, and we will chat again soon, you guys. Hey, thanks so much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and leave feedback. Do you have a question for the show? Head over to mompreneurlifestylesecrets.com and leave me a recorded message. I'll play it live and answer your question right on the show.